After refusing to marry the demon lord, he threw me into the snake pit to fend for myself. In utter despair, I suddenly heard the voices of those snakes. Woo-woo. I really don't know how to scare people. Woo-woo. I don't want to become snake soup. Woo-woo. Someone please save me. Woo-woo. Ah, can someone tell the mistress to stop moving? I'm genuinely terrified. I don't want to become snake soup. Big bro, you go, you tell her. Holy shit, I'm fucking panicking too. Right now it's like an old sow stuck in a fence, can't go forward or back, damn it. Listening to their inner voices, I fell into deep thought. Hello, everyone, welcome to my channel. Subscribe us to read wonderful novels every day. Now the story begins. If you don't wish to marry me, then you can rot here for all I care. With those words thrown down, the demon lord left without looking back. Watching his retreating figure, I felt utterly despondent. It had been over a month since he abducted me. Yet there was no word from my father. He must already be. Something cold and broad touched the back of my neck. A snake, many snakes. I had long heard of the demon lord's serpent abyss, where legend says every snake is lethally venomous. A mere touch causes skin to rot, and a single bite brings instant death. HSSSS. A snake coiled around my neck several times, as if trying to strangle me. A snake crawled onto my head, as if trying to swallow me whole. Another snake slithered along the rope binding me, reaching my wrist as if intent on biting me to death. I closed my eyes, tears of despair streaming down my face. As I struggled instinctively, I suddenly heard a voice speaking. Holy shit, damn, take it easy. Careful or the master will get mad and turn you into snake soup. Fuck, woo-woo. I really don't know how to scare people. Woo-woo. I really don't want to become snake soup. Woo-woo. Someone save me. Woo-woo. Ah, can someone tell the mistress to stop moving? I'm genuinely terrified. I don't want to become snake soup. Big bro, you go, you tell her. Holy shit, damn, I'm freaking out too. Right now it's like an old sow entering a fence, stuck between a rock and a hard place. Fuck. The voice sounded right beside my ear. Could it be? I was hearing the snake's thoughts. A moment later, I was certain I truly heard the snake's thoughts, yet far from wanting to kill me, they actually called me mistress, and seemed afraid of harming me. How ridiculous. Didn't they hear that great demon ordered me to be left here to perish? Time's up. In the dim light, I saw a cobra slithering onto the stone platform by the cliff wall. 3 snakes fled from my body as if escaping disaster. Merging into the serpentine mass on the ground, the snake congregation then moved toward the cliff wall in perfect order before coming to a complete halt. The cobra slowly swept its gaze across the serpent crowd, wherever its eyes passed. The snakes there would bow their heads and lower their bodies, appearing utterly terrified. Witnessing this scene, I couldn't help but feel curious. Rumors said this snake group from the 10,000 Serpent Cave always charged at the forefront when fighting for the demon lord, daring to tread on blades, yet who would have thought they too had something they feared? What are they afraid of? After scanning back and forth several times, the cobra raised the tip of its tail and pointed forward. This row, tell me the master's virtues. Those who can't answer, you know the consequences. At these words, the surrounding snakes collectively exhaled in relief. The snake that was pointed at hesitated for a moment before speaking. Well, the master has a very good temper. The cobra nodded. Good. Next. The master is very gentle. The cobra continued nodding. Good. Next. Master is so devoted to love. Excellent. Next. The further it went, the more outrageous their descriptions became. Even phrases like deeply affectionate and overflowing with tenderness started appearing. I listened with a cold sneer. Who in the 8 realms doesn't know that the demon lord is utterly wicked? The greatest demon under heaven. Such insincere flattery won't save them from being turned into snake soup. The snake pit was damp and cold, and as I listened, I actually dozed off. I don't know how much time had passed when a burst of crying startled me awake. Woo-woo. I can't remember any of my master's good points. Woo-woo. And I really don't want to become snake soup. Woo-woo. Someone please save me. Woo-woo. Judging by the voice, it was that same sniveling snake from earlier. The cobra lifted its tail tip to scratch its head, appearing somewhat irritated. Enough. Next. Master is a complete monster. What virtues could he possibly have? Do you actually believe the nonsense you're spouting? I'm genuinely terrified. I don't want to end up as snake soup. Big bro, step up, say something for me. It thrashed wildly, causing the surrounding snakes to instinctively recoil. The cobra scratched its head again, growing visibly more agitated. Next, you, speak. Damn it, I swear I'll ram into both of you. Just wait till master turns you into snake stew. Damn it. Damn it, you two are like turtles trying to hatch eggs. Utterly useless, damn it. The cobra finally couldn't take it anymore. Enough, it's still you three. The snakes instantly scattered, leaving only those 3 snakes in disarray where they were. Seems this was how they'd been chosen to scare me before too. Suddenly, noises came from outside the snake pit. The head attendant had arrived with his men. The chief attendant stepped onto the stone platform, looking down at the snakes from above. His subordinate then took out a steaming bowl from the food box and placed it before the 3 snakes. Listening to their trembling and grumbling thoughts, a suspicion formed in my mind. Could it be, this is to let them do it themselves? Woo-woo, woo-woo, woo-woo. The entire snake den was deathly silent, with only the sound of the weeping snakes' cries audible. Seeing that they weren't moving, the subordinate lifted the bowl and brought it to the weeping snake's mouth. Woo-woo, woo-woo, I don't want to die, woo-woo. Seeing it only crying without moving, the subordinate tilted the bowl outward, forcing it to eat what was inside. Moments later, its body began emitting steam. The steam grew increasingly intense, and within moments its outer skin had turned crimson from the heat. When its skin turned completely red, the snake let out a shriek and toppled backward, stiff as a corpse. At the sight of this, the other snakes were so terrified they all pretended to be dead on the spot. The head attendant cast a cold glance at the weeping snake before turning his gaze toward the other 2 snakes. Can someone tell me if eating this thing will really let me see my great-grandma? I'm genuinely terrified. I don't want to turn into snake soup. Big bro, you go first. You eat it first. Holy shit, even the master's father-in-law couldn't escape. You think you can? Damn it. And you want me to eat first? For fuck's sake, you're really like a dung beetle wearing a mask, utterly shameless. Christ, the demon lord's father-in-law, are you talking about my dad? I should have realized that if the demon lord captured my father, he would surely subject him to brutal torture, but he's old now, and with his high blood pressure, cholesterol, and sugar from overeating, how could he endure the demon lord's daily torment? No, I must find a way to escape and save him. I was still in a daze when the 2 snakes began steaming all over. I turned my head away, unable to bear watching, and only dared to look back when I could no longer hear their thoughts. My subordinate placed all 3 snakes into the food box together. Even as the lid was closed, steam continued rising from within. I couldn't help but feel somewhat moved. The serpent abyss was notorious throughout the lands, for it was said that every snake within was meticulously raised by the demon lord, treasured like precious jewels. Once, a man who sneaked into the demon realm to steal snakes was caught by the demon lord. He was skinned, his bones extracted, and his blood drunk, a display of utmost cruelty. In our Pingxiang, even uttering the name Serpent Abyss became taboo for a time. So fearful were the common folk that they would kneel and bow for hours upon encountering even an ordinary snake by the roadside. But who would have thought, no matter how precious something might be, if the great demon lord so desired, it could instantly become a bowl of soup in his hands, truly terrifying and despicable. The group turned around, seemingly preparing to leave. At that moment, the head guard suddenly turned and glanced at me. A brilliant idea struck me. This was my chance. I closed my eyes, tilted my head, and pretended to faint. A familiar scent rushed over me, enveloping me completely. Good news. I've escaped the serpent pit and can go save my father. Bad news. The demon lord brought me out, only to throw me back into his palace. Ever since he abducted me, he's kept me imprisoned here day after day. He asks me only one question every day, whether I'm willing to marry him. At first, I was utterly confused. As the supreme ruler of the demon realm, why was the demon lord so insistent on forcing an ordinary girl like me to marry him? But later, I figured it out. that great demon is utterly bizarre. Perhaps he's just looking for some amusement. Naoneo, are you all right, Naoneo? Hearing my father call me, I couldn't resist the urge to open my eyes. But with the demon lord by my side, I had no choice but to keep pretending to be unconscious. Ahem, son-in-law, why don't you step out for a moment? Let this old man use his genuine feelings to awaken Naoneo. The sound of footsteps grew fainter until they disappeared. After a while, my father leaned close to my ear and whispered, "All right, enough pretending." I opened my eyes, ready to cry my heart out to my father, but when I saw the face before me, I froze. His eyes were sunken and gray, his lips stained with blood, and his face swollen beyond recognition. Trembling, he grasped my hand, tears streaming down his face. "Naoneo, my dear daughter, your father, you've truly suffered, but you said this son-in-law, the demon lord is really something. If he wanted to marry you, he could have just captured you. Why drag your old father here and torment me all day? If it weren't for you, I truly couldn't endure a single day of this. Of course, none of that matters. But the food in this demon realm is absolutely terrible. Your father really has no fortune to enjoy it." He pointed at his face and said, "Look how they've beaten me, and see how thin I've become. Do I still look like your mighty, mountain-moving father who could eat 2 oxen in one meal?" I shook my head. "No, you don't. He wasn't this fat before." Hearing me say this, my father immediately wiped away his tears. "Well, then you'll just have to lower your standards and marry him. Consider it your filial duty to your father." His face changed so quickly. "There's some familial affection, but not much. In that case, I won't stand on ceremony either." I reached out to wipe the red stain at the corner of his mouth. "Father, is the great demon lord tormenting you with braised pork all day?" My father blinked. "Well, you must be mistaken. This is clearly, the juice on your lips is from braised pork, the ash on your eyelids is from burnt grass, and those tears are clearly from the sting of chili peppers." I then looked at his chubby face and added, "And your face, clearly swollen from overeating, isn't it?" My father froze for a moment before bursting into even louder sobs. "Why, Naoneo, your father had no choice. The demon lord forced me to do this. He said if I didn't obey, he'd starve me to death. You know your father. I just can't go without food." Before my father could finish speaking, I suddenly heard a rustling sound coming from the roof beam. "I'm cooked all over and smell delicious." Wasn't that the inner voice of that crybaby snake? "It's still alive. Did you just rise from the dead?" My father couldn't hear the snake's thoughts and was still tearfully brainwashing me about the benefits of marrying the demon lord. What surprised me even more was that I immediately heard the thoughts of the other 2 snakes. Can someone tell me why our master's expression looks so terrifying? Does he know we sneaked out? I'm genuinely scared. I don't want to be eaten by the master. Big bro, you go first. Let him eat you first. Holy shit, can't you fucking see our master is worried about the mistress? Who the hell do you think you are, damn it? We're not even worth a fart in front of the mistress, for fuck's sake. You're just like a peacock strutting around full of yourself, goddammit. The demon lord is worried about me. Looks like they've misunderstood again. But since they ate from that bowl without dying, I suppose I don't need to worry too much about my father either. I warily looked toward the door but saw no sign of the demon lord. A servant entered and said to my father, "His lordship requests your presence for the meal." Hearing the word dine, my father frowned deeply, his entire face etched with resistance. It's been over 2 months since we last saw each other, and the bond between father and daughter has grown rather faint. I think we can skip the meal for now. Let us first take time to rebuild this lost father-daughter relationship." But before he could finish speaking, the tall, dark figure appeared at the door. My father was carried out by the attendants. He kicked and flailed, shouting for me to save him as if he were being marched to the execution ground. It seems the food in the demon realm is truly awful. I'm all fragrant and perfectly cooked. The demon lord walked in, effortlessly tucking the 3 snakes into his robes. The voice from his chest cried out, Someone please tell the master he reeks. Does he not want snake soup anymore and prefers smoked snake instead?" even if he's furious with the mistress, he can't just go and blow up someone's mountain at the drop of a hat. I'm seriously gonna suffocate from the stench, bro. I'm all fragrant and perfectly cooked. Holy shit, shut the hell up, you two. If the boss hears you, next time he blows up a mountain he'll toss you in and blast you to smithereens. Fuck me, if you two die. Don't drag me down with you, goddammit. I stared blankly at the demon lord's chest. From the very first day I was abducted, I could smell the scent of yuanyang vegetables on him. Yuanyang vegetables are a unique wild herb from our Pingxiang region, with an exceptionally rich and delicious aroma that clings to anyone who touches them. I've always been particularly fond of this flavor, often sneaking up the mountain to dig for them behind my father's back. Could it be that the demon lord blew up the mountains of Pingxiang just because I refused to marry him? The demon lord walked up to me, his voice strangely hoarse. This is the last time I ask. Will you marry me or not? I looked up at him with a cold laugh. I'd rather die 1,000 deaths in the 10,000 serpents pit than marry you, you great demon. The demon lord raised an eyebrow. Oh, but my demon realm has countless places more terrifying than your pit. If you're thick-skinned enough, I wouldn't mind taking the time to give you a proper tour. Ah, someone tell me if our master has lost his mind. How could there possibly be any place in the demon realm scarier than our 10,000 serpents pit? Big bro, step up, knock some sense into him. Our pit's reputation is at stake here. Holy shit, can't you fucking tell our master was just bluffing? If he didn't say that, how could the mistress agree to marry him? Our demon realm would face utter annihilation. Damn it, when that happens, even if our master doesn't devour us, we'll still be buried along with him. Get your head straight, you're like lighting a lantern in a latrine asking for death. Fuck me, if I don't marry the demon lord. The demon realm will face utter annihilation, though I don't know the reason. A plan suddenly formed in my mind. I won't marry. I turned my head away with an unyielding resolve, yet the demon lord showed no anger upon hearing this. Instead, turning to leave with leisurely grace, he paused when reaching the chamber doors. The gates that had just been shut now slowly began to open. Niao niao. Save your father, niao niao. Outside the door came my father's screams and the sound of whipping. They had hung my father from a tree, his face already flushed crimson, and the captain of the guards continued, smack. Ah, that hurts so much. Niao niao, save me. I averted my gaze and fiddled with the hem of my clothes as if nothing had happened. It's been over a month since I last saw him, and our feelings have already cooled. Do whatever you want with him. Best to throw him in the dungeon and withhold his meals. Let him get a taste of starvation. Hearing my words, the demon lord's face instantly darkened with terrifying intensity. He flashed to the captain of the guards, snatched the whip, and began lashing it across my father's body, stroke after stroke. My father was beaten until his flesh split open, his cries growing increasingly agonized. I sauntered leisurely to the doorway, wearing an expression of pure amusement. Demon lord, I see your strength is lacking. How about I fight for you instead? Hearing my words, both the demon lord and my father were stunned. I sneered inwardly, just as I thought. When my father took the first lash from the demon lord, their thoughts were betrayed by the snake's whispers. Ah, forcing a marriage by beating up his own father-in-law. This is absolutely outrageous even across all 8 realms. Only our master, the great demon lord, could pull off something like this, right, big bro? Holy shit, that was obviously fake. Can't you even recognize a simple finger snap illusion spell from our master? Holy shit. Didn't you see his father-in-law's face turning red from holding back laughter? Holy shit, you're like a fool boiling water, steaming with idiocy. Holy shit. I'm all fragrant and perfectly cooked. The demon lord stared at me intently, likely puzzled as to why his bitter flesh act had failed. My father reacted a bit faster than him, letting out a scream before fainting. Guards, throw my father-in-law into the dungeon, the one that holds the 10,000-year-old tiger spirit, then I won't see you out. With that, I shut the door, leaving them outside. I admit, there was an element of gambling in my actions. It was only because I heard those snakes say that if I angered the demon lord, he would go out and blow up mountains, that's why I provoked him so much. As soon as he left, I could carry out my plan. The snake's thoughts drifted in from outside the door. Ah. Master's body suddenly became so hot. Does he want sizzling snake instead of smoked snake again? I'm really going to get burned to death, bro. I'm all fragrant and perfectly cooked. Holy shit, Master is burning with rage, his blood boiling. Just shut the hell up. You're really like the god of longevity eating arsenic. Tired of living, damn it. Hearing them say this, I breathed a sigh of relief. The great demon lord actually got genuinely angry. The moment he leaves the demon palace will be my chance to escape and bring back reinforcements. In the dead of night, I knocked out all the attendants in the hall one by one. I stripped off one of their uniforms and put it on, then sneaked all the way to the palace walls, but when I looked up, I froze. High, too high, so high it seems to pierce the clouds, with no end in sight. Fortunately, the stone wall isn't smooth, with gritted teeth. One could still climb up. I lifted my foot to climb when suddenly I heard footsteps behind me. The steps were light, and the person was humming a tune, clearly in good spirits. But these footsteps, this humming, I knew them all too well. It was my father, from whom I'd become estranged. Beneath the moonlight, he waddled like a living, plump ginseng root, swaying his head as he shuffled to the base of the wall not far from me. I instinctively stepped back but ended up crunching the leaves underfoot. Ah. My father let out a startled gasp, then immediately sighed in relief. He had seen me too. Almost simultaneously, we both turned our heads away, pretending not to have seen each other. After a moment of silence, I cleared my throat. Dad. Hurry up and climb. My dad chuckled and waved his hand. Well, you go first, you go first. Hearing this, I felt puzzled, sensing that he didn't seem to be here to escape for his life. I saw a food box wobbling down from above his head. I looked up. But the wall was too high. The rope seemed to descend from the heavens, and I couldn't see who was holding it. The food box landed on the ground, and my father deftly opened it. Inside, I spotted a bowl and caught a whiff of an enticing aroma. It's my father's favorite braised pork. I couldn't help but swallow my saliva. My father truly has his ways, despite the demon palace's tight security. He still managed to have someone deliver braised pork to him. No wonder he kept complaining about the awful food in the demon realm while still managing to put on so much weight. Gurgle, gurgle, gurgle. Something made a noise. It was my stomach. For over a month since I was abducted, the demon lord has only allowed his attendants to feed me grass. All kinds of grass, each more bitter and harder to swallow than the last. The only reason I'm still alive is sheer willpower keeping me going. Maybe you should have some too. You'll need the strength to climb. I swallowed hard and waved my hand. You eat it, Dad. You'll need the energy to wait for me to come back and save you. All right then. As I watched my father bend down to pick up the bowl, I turned my head and prepared to continue climbing upward. But just then, I heard a bone-chilling sound from behind me. I'm all fragrant and perfectly cooked. Oh no, it's the demon lord. Father, don't eat it. The braised pork is a trap. Too late. My father's mouth was dripping with juice, and the bowl was already empty. That tall, dark figure appeared among us. What's this? Trying to run away. Before I could speak, my father slammed the bowl in front of me. Nyoneo, how could you do this? No matter how terrible the demon palace's food is, you can't just steal food here. I stared at him in disbelief. Father, could you at least wipe your mouth before speaking? The demon lord smirked and asked me, what, you want some too? My heart burned with fury, yet my stomach betrayed me with an untimely growl. The demon lord smirked wickedly. Simple, just marry. I spat toward the demon lord. Pa, marry. I'll marry your damned ghost head. That's what I'll marry. The demon lord tossed me back into the bedchamber. After all this commotion, the number of attendants in the hall had increased significantly. Though they all seemed busy with their own tasks, their eyes were practically glued to me. It seemed there was no chance of escaping now. Early the next morning, a veiled attendant brought me food. It wasn't grass, but rather a bowl of something greenish-purple and sticky, with a strange burnt smell. As he lowered his head, I caught a glimpse of his face behind the veil. It was Jize, and I were childhood sweethearts, Had I not been abducted by the demon lord, we would surely be married by now. Seeing him, I was thrilled, yet couldn't show it. Those attendants were watching us closely. Understanding my dilemma, Jize flicked his sleeve, releasing a cloud of powder that rendered the attendants unconscious. I stared at him in astonishment. I never knew he could do such things. Jize told me that the demon realm's outskirts were now completely planted with yuanyang vegetables by the demon lord. Rumors were spreading that yuanyang vegetable blossoms could devour souls, drastically altering the temperament of those who consumed them. Eating too much would lead to addiction, making people willingly submit to being controlled. The demon lord used this flower to brew poison every day, and the substance in this bowl was that very toxin. Hearing this, I was deeply puzzled. I was quite familiar with the primordial sunflower. I often tucked it into my hair while foraging in the mountains and never felt any discomfort, nor had I heard of it being used to make poison, yet after consuming it, the weeping serpent had indeed undergone a drastic change in temperament. Naonieo, the demon lord is making you take this poison now because he wants to rob you of your senses and use you for his own ends. Last night you tried to escape and were caught by him. It'll be even harder to run away in the future, but don't worry. I have a treasure that can free you from the demon lord's clutches. As he spoke, a purple orb materialized in his palm. This is called the soul-forgetting pearl. Within 5 days, find a way to make the demon lord ingest it, and he will forget everything about you. I've already arranged for help outside to aid our escape. I agreed to his plan, but somehow, I couldn't shake the feeling that something was off. After a day of contemplation, I decided to try what Jize had suggested. I requested to see the demon lord, only to be told he wouldn't meet me unless I agreed to marry him immediately. If he wouldn't see me, then I would refuse to eat. I actually considered banging my head against the pillar, but then thought better of it. I'm afraid of pain. In the end, I grew so hungry I felt dizzy, yet didn't catch even a glimpse of the demon lord. By midnight, hunger kept me awake, and I actually started missing those awful tasting weeds. As I tossed and turned in bed, I suddenly caught a whiff of something delicious wafting from behind me. Turning around, I saw several food boxes had mysteriously appeared by the bedside. Every single dish inside was chicken, white-cut chicken, scallion oil chicken, Sichuan pepper chicken, braised chicken with chestnuts, mushroom stewed chicken. Did someone raid a chicken coop or something? I originally thought it was Jize who sent it to me, but upon reflection, that didn't seem right. Jize never eats chicken, so it couldn't have been him, unless, was it that mysterious person my father bribed? Every night at the same time, several food boxes would appear by my bedside. Without exception, they all contained chicken. After 4 days of this half-hearted starvation, the demon lord still refused to see me. With only 1 day left of the 5-day period, I decided to repeat my old trick and feign fainting again. The attendant called me to wake up, and I rose shakily for a moment before collapsing back down. I got up too fast. I really did feel dizzy. 2 large hands caught me. Looking up, I saw it was the demon lord. He gazed at me deeply, his eyes filled with, if I'm not mistaken, is that concern. Seeing me look at him, he instantly released his grip, his expression turning cold, yet the flush on his face hadn't faded, and his speech carried an unnatural stiffness. This venerable one came to collect your corpse. Oh, I responded absent-mindedly, because my face was burning too, and my heart was pounding. What a strange feeling, but it seems to me you're doing quite well. Could it be you've secretly followed my father-in-law's example and started cooking for yourself on the side? Hearing him say that, I felt a surge of irritation, and even without reason, my tone turned defiant. No, if I stole a bite, I'd be a dog. The demon lord leaned forward, closing the distance between us to mere inches. My heart raced even faster. Oh, then I'll just cut open your belly to see if you've really been stealing food. Master, is your mouth the only hard thing about you? Clearly, it was you who sent the braised pork and the chicken. Why won't you say anything? Does he not want to eat grilled snake but still wants to eat stewed snake? I'm really going to be stewed to death here. Bro, holy shit, shut the hell up. How dare you talk about master like that? You're the real dog lifting the door curtain, all bark and no bite. Holy shit, after hearing what they said, I stared blankly at the demon lord. Was all that food actually sent by him? What on earth does he want? Whatever he intends, it's not as important as saving my life, since I've lured him here. I must seize this chance to shower him with attention, just enough to trick him into swallowing that sulfur-getting pearl. The tricky part is, ever since I declared my hunger strike, the attendants haven't brought me any food, not even a single blade of grass. What should I do to make the demon lord consume that sulfur-getting pearl? I stared fixedly at the demon lord. Though he's a great demon, one has to admit he's extraordinarily handsome. Perhaps I should make a little sacrifice. It's not necessarily me who'll be at a disadvantage anyway. As long as we can get the sulfur-getting pearl into his mouth this way, our plan will be half accomplished. I took a deep breath and was about to close my eyes for the kiss. But then I heard the demon lord chuckle mischievously. Still denying you stole a kiss? You didn't even wipe your mouth clean. I opened my eyes to defend myself, only to catch his face flushing red again. Master's heartbeat suddenly sped up so fast. Is his body about to explode? He's so hot and trembling. Does he not want braised snake but instead crave spicy snake slices now? Big bro, holy shit. Can't you fucking tell Master is nervous, damn it. You're really. So even the demon lord gets nervous. But what is he nervous about? You. The words of defense stuck in my throat, and I could feel my face burning even hotter. Then I suddenly noticed that the demon lord's hands were covered in blisters. What happened to your hand? The demon lord turned to look at the table nearby. I personally cooked this meal for you. I walked to the table and saw the contents of the bowl, yet another of Gize's so-called poisons made from primordial young cauliflower. Though this time, the burnt smell was much fainter. I tentatively asked, "What is this? The taste is quite strange." The demon lord replied indifferently, "Snake soup." Master must be delirious with fever. How could he not tell the difference between wild vegetables and snake soup? Shut up. The demon lord pushed the bowl toward me and showed me the blisters on his hand. The demon lord injured himself like this just to cook for you. The least you could do is take a bite. It's just stir-fried garlic chives. Eating a bite wouldn't hurt. Besides, I genuinely missed the taste of this dish, even though it was burnt. I picked up the bowl, pondering how to take the first bite. Then suddenly, a purple bead floated up in the bowl. It was the sulfur-getting pearl, but wasn't it hidden on me? How could this be? I was horrified to see the demon lord wave his hand and push it toward me. Before I could react, I had already swallowed it. A burst of purple light exploded before my eyes, leaving me blind. When the purple light faded, I found myself in a mist-shrouded mountain forest. I recognized it as Yuanyang Mountain from my hometown, after which the famous Yuanyang vegetable was named. Is anyone there? I turned around and saw a girl who looked exactly like me sitting behind me. Her foot trapped in a hunting snare and unable to move. I walked up to her, but she seemed unable to see me, still gazing around in confusion. Are my eyes playing tricks on me? Why do I see two mistresses? Am I going crazy, bro? I'm all fragrant and perfectly cooked. Holy shit, this is an illusion. Damn it, all those years of cultivation wasted on you. Holy shit. You're like 100 pounds of flour steamed into a birthday peach. Utterly useless. Holy shit. So it was an illusion. The girl cried out for help again. Is anyone there? A moment later, the demon lord appeared beside her, wearing an expression of someone ready to enjoy the show. The girl saw the demon lord and blushed slightly with shyness. Could you save me, please? She asked cautiously, only to be met with a cold snort from the demon lord. Save you? Why should I? The girl was stunned by the question. She'd probably never encountered someone who played by such unconventional rules. I shot the demon lord a glare. This damned demon in the illusion was just as detestable as the real one. The demon lord looked down at the girl from above. If you're willing to beg me, I might be willing to put in some effort to save you. The girl turned her head away, seemingly annoyed. Since you don't want to beg, then stay here. But don't say I didn't warn you. There's a 10,000-year-old tiger spirit in these woods that specializes in devouring tender young maidens like you. Master is really too wicked. He'd already loosened the trap, so why did he have to scare the mistress like that? Calling him a great demon king isn't the slightest bit exaggerated, don't you think? Big bro, holy shit, you're absolutely right. I looked down and saw that the trap had indeed been loosened. The young lady noticed it too. She struggled to her feet, casting a faint glance at the demon lord. I grew up right at the foot of this mountain. And I've never heard of any 10,000-year-old tiger spirit up here. But you, sneaking around like this, don't seem like a good person at all. Thanks for that. With that, he picked up the bamboo basket filled with yuan-yang grass and limped his way down the mountain. As the demon lord watched the girl's retreating figure, he actually smiled. "Ah, master, are you some kind of pervert?" She said. "You don't seem like a good person and you're secretly laughing. If any of us had said that, we'd have been turned into snake soup long ago." "Right, big bro, holy shit, you're absolutely right. This is like a knife cutting my ass. I'm seeing things in a whole new light, holy shit." The thick fog receded from the mountaintop downward, and the figures of the girl and the demon lord vanished into the mist. Suddenly, I heard noises coming from above the forest again. Turning my head, I saw that the girl who had just disappeared had reappeared in the woods, and the demon lord stood on a tree not far behind her. The girl focused on digging wild vegetables, seemingly unaware of the demon lord's presence, while he remained silent, simply watching her quietly. Suddenly, another sound came from below the woods. Someone was hiding behind a tree, trying their best to conceal themselves, but their plump figure made it obvious at a glance. "It's my father." Watching the scattering insects, rodents, and snakes flee, his face revealed a worried expression. The demon lord noticed him too, but merely plucked a purple blossom from a yuan-yang vegetable from afar and placed it in the maiden's hair. The maiden reached up to touch it gently, a sweet smile curling at the corners of her lips. The thick fog receded once more, revealing a palace suddenly emerging on the mountainside. It was the demon palace. The maiden sat atop the city wall, watching below and giggling uncontrollably. Outside the wall, the demon lord crouched low, planting vegetables in the ground. The girl wasn't afraid of the demon lord's anger and even laughed while directing, "Over there. Plant some there too." With a wave of his hand, the demon lord blasted flat the small hill the girl had pointed to. He shot her a glare and grumbled irritably. At first, when rumors spread that this venerable one was stealing primordial young vegetables to brew poison, I felt wronged. But now I truly wish these cabbages were poisonous enough to cloud this woman's judgment, so she'd obey my every word. So that's how it is. I walked up to the demon lord, wanting to examine the primordial young vegetables he'd planted. All 8 realms know the demon domain is barren. How could this primordial young vegetable possibly survive? 10,000 years ago, the demon domain wasn't called the demon domain, but the kingdom of Yunming. The ruler of Yunming violated the laws set by the immortals by marrying a celestial maiden who had fled her duties. This provoked the wrath of the heavenly gods, who summoned a tempest that razed Yunming to the ground. The only survivor left in the entire nation was the young prince of Yunming Kingdom. Seeing that someone still lived, the heavenly gods summoned another bolt of divine lightning, yet unexpectedly. This celestial strike not only failed to kill the young prince but instead helped him transform into a demon, igniting a war against the heavens that lasted thousands of years. However, the demonic energy radiating from him tainted the entire demonic realm, turning the land charred black, pockmarked and barren, devoid of any vegetation. As I approached, I was stunned. The land where the yuan-yang vegetables had grown now appeared to be ordinary yellow soil. Could it be that yuan-yang vegetables could restore life to the demon realm? Let's try it. It might work. The scene shifted once more, and this time I saw the demon lord's bedchamber. The maiden handed the demon lord a steaming bowl of something. Though visibly reluctant, he accepted it nonetheless. He led the captain of the guards into the serpent pit, but before he could even produce that bowl, a giant python blocked their path. The python transformed into a white-bearded old man. It appears to be an elder of the serpent clan. Tugging at his beard, he declared with righteous indignation, "In times of war, our serpent clan is willing to charge ahead for the demon lord without fear of death, and we would gladly endure the demonic energy, hiding in the serpent abyss for countless years without seeing the light of day, all to establish prestige for the demon realm and for you, demon lord. But if the demon lord finds us a nuisance, a simple word would suffice. We would end our own lives right here, sparing you the trouble of doing it yourself. Such blunt words successfully provoked the demon lord's wrath. He flicked his sleeve and threw down a harsh threat. Anyone who dares refuse to eat shall be made into snake soup by this sovereign. After all, useless trash that can only hide in the serpent's lair is of no value to me. Seeing his unyielding attitude, the serpent elder tearfully swallowed the offering. The demon sovereign brought him back to the royal chambers, where he slept continuously after the demonic energy dissipated from his body. According to the demon sovereign, he hadn't closed his eyes even once since being tainted by the demonic energy. Oh, so what we ate wasn't poison but the antidote. But why did Crybaby Snake go crazy after eating it? Big bro, tell me why. Damn it, I've been wanting to say this. Can you stop swaying around and acting crazy all the time? Your venomous drool got into Crybaby Snake's mouth. No wonder it went mad, damn it. I'm all fragrant and perfectly cooked. Perhaps noticing the girl's
favorite tavern in Pingxiang to buy braised pork, pretending to be a mysterious benefactor delivering meals. In less than a month, my father became even chubbier. At night when I crouched by the bed devouring chicken, he'd perch invisibly on the roof beam, watching me eat with amusement. When Jizé came to find me, he was furious that I had agreed to Jizé's request. Under the moonlight, he blasted a mountain peak and then planted an entire hillside with the yuan-yang vegetables I loved. After Jizé left, he was captured. Seizing the opportunity, he made me take the soul-forgetting pearl once more. For it was said that one pearl could make one forget, but a pair could help one remember. So it was him all along. It's always been him. Ah, master, he's absolutely smitten. Holy shit, you're right. The fog had retreated to the mountain's base as I was drawn forward by a mysterious force. There was a table in the open space. I walked over and was pressed down by that force to sit on the stool beside the table. Turning my head, I saw it was the demon lord who held me down. He placed a bowl of steamed yuan-yang vegetable dumplings, green, purple, and sticky, in front of me. It was left over by my father-in-law. He said it was delicious. Well, if you'd like to try it, go ahead. Seeing me hesitate, he added, don't force yourself if you don't want to. It's just leftovers. If you don't eat it, I'll feed it to the dog. With tears in my eyes, I took a bite. The vegetable dumpling had too little flour and too much water. The top was steamed into a porridge-like mush, while the bottom had a burnt taste. The batter must have had too much water when mixing, and there wasn't enough water in the pot, so it boiled dry. I chewed slowly, the familiar taste spreading in my mouth. The fog has completely lifted, and I've remembered everything. The happiest moment for me wasn't during the grand wedding, but when I ate that awful vegetable dumpling that nearly made me cry. When I woke up, I found myself lying in bed. Before me was the demon lord's face, magnified and filled with concern. Tears welled up, but I pretended nothing was wrong and cleared my throat. I'm hungry. The demon lord straightened up and sneered. I know, you were talking in your sleep just now. What a pig, dreaming about food even while sleeping. As he turned to leave, I sprang up and hugged him from behind. Suining, make me some steamed vegetable dumplings. I'm craving them. Yes, his name is Suining, son-in-law. I'm begging you, just let me go home, even if Nyeonyeon can't remember. You can't torment me like this. I walked out of the kitchen carrying a plate of yuan-yang vegetable dumplings when I heard my father's wailing from afar. Entering the bedchamber, I saw my father clinging stubbornly to Suining's arm. Please. Your cooking is truly unbearable. This old man can't endure another day of it. I want to return to Pingxiang. I never want to eat that so-called yuan-yang vegetable again in this lifetime. Suining, immobilized by his grip, smiled wryly and said, Father-in-law, why not try it first before deciding? I placed the vegetable dumplings before my father and, pulling Suining's arm away, drew him into my embrace. Father, I remember everything now, my father gaped, half believing and half doubting. I casually stuffed a vegetable dumpling into his mouth. After a few chews, his expression changed dramatically. My son-in-law, it's not that I'm being harsh, but even the simplest steamed vegetable dumplings you make are so unpalatable. I advise you to give up cooking and spare others the suffering. What? Hands on my hips, I glared at him with fiery eyes. Father, I made these, outside the demon palace. The sunlight was warm and gentle, vast fields of yuanyang rapeseed flowers bloom, stretching as far as the eye can see, a sea of pale purple. Who would have thought, the yuanyang vegetable, which only grows on Yuanyang Mountain in Pingxiang, could thrive so splendidly in the demon realm? I watched Swaning below the wall, angrily planting vegetables again because I said his vegetable dumplings tasted worse than mine. I have a question for you. Why do they say that if I don't marry you, the demon realm will face utter destruction? He turned his head and glared at me. How should I know? After a moment's thought, he looked up again. But who told you that? I glanced at his chest and chuckled. He. Ah, big brother, you always said you'd eventually be killed by me. But now it's really me who's going to be killed by you, big brother. Damn it, I'm not wrong. The master loves the mistress so much, if she can't remember him, he'll lose all interest in ruling the demon realm, and then the demon realm will face total destruction. Damn it. The demon lord glanced at his chest. Too many troubles, I actually forgot about them. Guards, turn them into snake soup for me. Ah, big bro, did you hear that? The master said he's going to turn us into snake soup. He seems really serious this time. Big bro, holy shit, you actually understood that and you're still not running. You're a real genius. I swear, holy shit. The furious snake hooked its two unfortunate brothers with its tail and flew out from Swaining's chest, vanishing instantly into the flower bushes. I smell so nice all over.